This is a special presentation on WGNT 27. We are live this afternoon as News 3 and our community will celebrate the lives of Virginia Beach police officers Cameron Gervin and Christopher Reese, the two men killed in the line of duty late at night on February 21st. Their loss from the Precinct 4 building is stretched beyond Virginia Beach to the entire Commonwealth.
Hampton Roads is gathering this afternoon to honor the fallen 25-year-old and 30-year-old who didn't make it home from work that night. In the words of Police Chief Paul Newdigate, they are two heroes that paid the ultimate price for our society. Thank you for being with us. I'm Erin Miller.
And I'm Blaine Stewart. We have a lot of coverage for you this afternoon, and we thank you for joining us, bringing you a live look at the services as our community processes this trauma.
Yeah, we have team coverage on the ground this afternoon, and we will be looking at today's service as well, though we will not be inside of the service for respect for their families. We will bring you everything beforehand and afterwards.
Yes, the Celebration of Life service, as it's called, is going to start at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Rock Church on Kempsville Road in Virginia Beach. It's open to everyone, and the family of the officers, they have encouraged supporters to join them on the recessional route to pay their respects to the two officers. Now, what we're looking at right now is some video that came in just a few minutes ago of the procession. You can see just a long line of flashing lights, officers and deputies on motorcycles, that motorcade going down Kempsville just within the past 10 or 15 minutes, Erin.
Countless officers are involved in this as well. A pretty stark sight to see. You know, it's not often this happens, of course.
You see these pictures as they're playing on the television screen right now, a seemingly never-ending thin blue line of officers here in just advance of them paying their final respects to two men who, by all accounts, Erin, were the epitome of police officers and heroes, not only to their family, but our entire community.
And you'll notice, too, throughout the day that it's not just going to be Virginia Beach Police that's represented. Of course, those two officers were from the Virginia Beach Police Department, but Virginia State Police. There are departments from as far as Northern Virginia that are coming to be present today. As you mentioned, almost feels like a never-ending line of those lights flashing.
Absolutely. As we're watching now the two vehicles carrying those officers for their final ride before the services this afternoon, and then later on they'll be laid to rest. You can see that passing just a couple of blocks away from that Rock Church site, where we know that a number of the streets are closed off, but that means that folks from Virginia Beach and beyond, you can see in the video, have lined the processional routes, some of them with those thin blue line flags you can see off there in the distance, and then near the back of that video you can see that large American flag hanging at half staff.
Yeah, Virginia Beach expects there to be a very large crowd this afternoon. They know that a lot of people are going to want to be there to pay their respects, and many of the side streets around the area are closed off as they make their way to church for that memorial service that will begin again at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
In the meantime, we can tell you that our News 3 team is stationed live all along the processional and the recessional route. You can see a zoom in there. After the service, Virginia Beach Police telling News 3 they plan to travel down South Witch Duck Road, starting at Princess Anne and ending down the street at Grayson Road.
And we are on air early enough to kind of give you a heads up on this. If you do want to join for the recessional route, Virginia Beach Police have shared these parking options with us. It's a little bit difficult to read, but we have it on your screen there. The map is color-coded. Parking is reserved in these lots for family, Virginia Beach Police, Honor Guard members, general parking, volunteers, and media. So as mentioned, a lot of people are going to be in this area. You will likely need to find parking elsewhere.
There is an option, some off-site parking just down the road at Kempsville High School for the Celebration of Life service, and they're doing some shuttle service as well. We've got the map on your screen, but we also have that information for you on WTKR.com and inside the News 3 app. And we tell you this also because if you don't plan on attending the Celebration of Life service starting at 2 or being there for the route, that might be an area you want to avoid because of the increased traffic. And Erin, as you mentioned, some of the streets being blocked off in that area.
And we don't quite know how long that service is going to be this afternoon. So as Blaine said, just plan ahead heading into this evening as well if you do have plans later this evening, just to avoid that area because it is going to be quite jam-packed.
Absolutely. And before we head out to our teams in the field, we do want to let you know that we are streaming our live coverage this afternoon, not only just on the air, but also on our free News 3 app. You can scan that code on your screen right now, or you can head to WTKR.com/apps. This is the live stream that's going to be on WTKR.com, on the app for your phone, as well as our streaming app for your smart TV as well. So many options for folks who want to be part of this event for our community this afternoon.
And as mentioned, we have crews all around the area preparing for this service at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And we're going to kick that coverage off with Kurt Williams.
News 3 anchor Kurt Williams live in Virginia Beach, not too far from the church along the processional route. Kurt, you've been out there for some time this morning and this afternoon. Tell us what you are seeing and hearing and feeling right now.
Blaine and Aaron, that processional just can, and again, I just cannot stress how somber of a mood it was when just those host of police vehicles went by escorting the family. Closer to where that escort is arriving is News 3's Jay Green. And so, Jay, you have a different vantage point. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, Kurt, in fact, I'm going to talk a little softly here just to preserve the dignity and the tone that's out here right now. We just saw that procession come through on our end. We are not going to show you that out of respect for the family members right now. So we saw the beginning, that motorcade come through of all those police officers and law enforcement officers that you were talking about, guiding loved ones into Rock Church here. You can see the color guard at a salute out here right now. And Kurt, you mentioned a very somber tone. That is, and back to you where you are.
And Jay, I understand the tone, that it is a somber occasion. And I'm just going to step out of the shot. You can see that right now. This is the traffic situation on Kempsville Road as they are waiting for that just host of herding. And, that's not just the Virginia Beach Police Department. That is something that is just felt across our region. And so today they are honoring these two officers in a celebration of life. And again, we've got some video that we're showing right now of those ladders that are up hoisting that huge American flag. And I just got to believe that as people are driving, where a memorial continues to grow out there, and that's where we find News 3's Danielle Seda. Danielle?
Hey, Kurt, it's been very soothing and very calm out here. So peaceful if you've been out here today. And I will say this memorial continues to grow. I mean, I've never seen so many beautiful flowers in my life. You have roses of almost every single color here, including some blue ones of different colored flowers. And then if you came out here to the coverage, and we'll get back to you later, Kurt.
Yeah, and right now we are just trying to also keep our eyes to the sky, because we know at some point there is going to be a flyover of a squadron of FA-18s from Oceana. And so we are also waiting for that to take place. But we're at about 10 till 2 o'clock. And so 10 minutes from that service beyond Princess Anne Road, because I'm not too far. I can look just up the road and I can see where Princess Anne crosses over Kempsville Road. That's where I find my colleague News 3's Angela Bohan. Angela, what are you seeing right now?
As you mentioned, we're a little closer to the interstate, but not too far from Rock Church. If you look over here, you can see the traffic backing up right now as, of course, that service, that celebration of life, and you see a truck going by right now with the police flags. We're seeing a lot of that, actually, at the shops at Kemp's Landing. There's also people line up to pay their respects. Kurt, back to you.
Angela, thank you so much. We're kind of in a fluid situation because we're continuing to look off. Every time we see some aircraft up in the sky, we're wondering if we're getting ready to see this flyover from this squadron of Super Hornets from Oceana.
So if you can point towards the sky, because that flyover is about to happen. Guys, I'm just going to let this scene speak for itself. I'm going to be quiet here and let you all absorb this. We can all absorb this together. Okay, we can hear. Here we go.
The Navy paying tribute to these two officers. That was a squadron of FA-18 Super Hornets out of Oceana. And I'm just going to walk a little further down, but from all across Hampton Roads, from all across the...
And you have been watching live coverage from WTKR News 3 of the celebration of life service for the two Virginia Beach police officers, Officer Cameron Gervin and Officer Christopher Reese.
We thank you for being here and joining us this afternoon. What has been a tough afternoon for a lot of people across Hampton Roads, the law enforcement community, anyone that was tuning in to pay their respects.
That celebration of life lasting almost 2 hours, and we were able to learn so much more about these men who called Virginia Beach home, who were there on duty that night doing what they'd done for years, serving and protecting our community.
Yeah, Officer Cameron Gervin, we know, became a Virginia Beach police officer in 2020. We learned that he was funny. You know, a lot of the remarks about him was that he had a sense of humor. He was fun-loving, compassionate. We heard from his wife, Jessica. She spoke, who just shared the love of their relationship.
More to today's events, including the recessional, the parties, the folks heading out of that celebration of life back into the neighborhood around the Rock Church. You see there on Kempsville Road up towards Princess Anne. And we do have our team of anchors and reporters out of the field as well, including News 3 anchor Kurt Williams, who has been now in that area for several hours. Kurt, you've been outside as that went on. So let us know what you're hearing and seeing and what happens next.
Hey, Blaine and Aaron, I mean, we got people that are lining up. They were paying tribute inside, the folks inside Rock Church. We got people, and I'm just going to stood out to you about this celebration of life.
Yeah, I think, Kurt, it's really, and I'm speaking a little softly here because we want to keep the reverence and the dignity that's out here, but end of the service was the prayer of St. Michael the Archangel. And for those of you who don't know, that prayer dates back to the 1800s, coming from Pope Leo XIII. But that is an ancient prayer that has been adopted by law enforcement. A lot of times, if you have family law enforcement, some have a statue of St. Michael the Archangel in their house, or that prayer written somewhere. So not just a prayer used for religious reasons, but a prayer that the men and women in blue subscribe to as well. So yeah, just an emotional service in there, and just letting you see here this line that is coming out. And of course we've got motorcades here that are composed of officers from all over Virginia. We've got Henrico, we've got
Look at this shot right here. Look at these officers standing in solidarity with these two fallen officers and their families. The police chief said, when you think about police across the country, you think of hundreds and hundreds of police departments. But he said, quote, "We are behind," and that's where a memorial there continues to grow. And so let's now check in with News 3's Danielle Seda.
Hey, Kurt, as we were all mentioning, what a beautiful service that was. It was just unbelievable hearing about these men who none of us really knew at the team, but to hear about them, it just makes me feel like I did know them hearing that funeral. I'm here at the 4th Precinct, and since we've been out here all morning listening to the funeral, we kept on seeing people come through with even more flowers and more gifts. If it does come through, we'll come back to you. But for now, back to you, Kurt.
All right, Daniel, thanks so much. You know, we've been saying that people are out here lining the street. One of them is it's Kevin. Kevin, what brought you out here today?
I'm a grandson of a Philadelphia and a Miami police officer.
And we now, from what I understand, we have some of that sound from inside the church that we would like to hear right now from that celebration of life.
We choose to remember the laughter that they brought to the precinct. We choose to remember the kindness they displayed to those in need. And we choose to remember the strength they showed in times of crisis.
Mostly he loved so big. He loved life, he loved Jesus, he loved his job, but most of all he loved the people in his world.
His calming presence and good nature stood out from the very first night I met him. And I always knew that if Chris was working, everything would be okay, no matter what was thrown at us on the shift.
All right, and as we see members leaving the church, as was mentioned, there were some dignitaries that were in attendance. Governor Youngkin was inside, Lieutenant, and there you see him right there. There's a shot of, if you look toward the center of your screen, there's Governor Youngkin. He was inside.
But just everything going off so smoothly, and you know, we are just waiting as we see things starting right now. They are moving. We have confirmation of that.
All right, I want to toss back to Jay Green, who is near that vantage point where we are right now. Jay, can you hear us? And if so, what are you hearing and seeing right now?
Yep, I got you guys loud and clear. And yeah, we are starting to see that procession move out towards Kempsville Road. You know, lots of officers. We've got a couple officers down here on motorcycles that'll be waiting to come out. We've got Norfolk and Hampton down here. You know, a couple moments ago, we heard some music being played. There were 2 times where we heard music, some pipes and drums being played. That was happening as the officers' bodies were being brought out to the hearses. We didn't show as much of that to just show a little bit of respect. This procession just starting maybe within the last 10 to 15 minutes or so. And for me, you know, coming from somebody who has law enforcement in my family, this just kind of tugs at my heartstrings a little more. So when Kurt, you know, is talking to those people who have come out here because they have those family connections to law enforcement, it definitely, those same sentiments, even as a reporter, resonate with me as well. And so I can attest to exactly why those people who have connections are standing along here. And you know, back as a reporter, I've covered this type of thing in different cities across the country, in Colorado and in Iowa, and it's all the same. You feel those same emotions from the mountains to the Midwest to here on the East Coast, that somber feeling, even though this is a celebration of life. So yeah, again, what you're looking at here is we are right in front of Rock Church, right down the street from Kempsville High School.
On somebody, because I'm sure there is somebody else that is feeling exactly what you are. It's not easy to go through a day like today.
And that's a good point too. Is this is such a shared experience in our community, sharing in the grief, sharing in the sadness. But that's something that we can lean on each other for, knowing that we are not alone with whatever complex, you know, feelings we're wrestling with right now. As we watch more of the recessional there, the motorcycle units, the 2 hearses there with the bodies of Officer Reese and Officer Gervin there, their family members, loved ones, and Brothers and sisters in blue, all part of this recessional as well.
And I don't recall exactly who said it, but it was something along the lines of the more you say their names, the longer they live on. And so just because today is the celebration of life and the funeral service and the memorial, I think that goes for any loved ones that you lose. Keep saying their name, keep sharing their stories, and that helps. If there's one thing that we prove time and time again, it's that we have that strength, and it's just impressive. It truly leaves you kind of speechless.
It is what we do here in Hampton Roads. And that's why we felt it important to bring you this extended coverage on a Saturday live here on WGNT 27 as we watch the last part of the recessional go there. Now, we have had, as you have seen throughout our coverage, our News 3 team of anchors, reporters, and photojournalists in the field. And our coverage, while it is wrapping up on air and online right now, it will continue with a special edition of WTKR News 3 that is coming up tonight at 6:30.
Yes, absolutely. We just thank you for the time that you have taken to be with us on this broadcast as we were there for the memorial services of officers Cameron Gervin and Christopher Reese.
For Kurt Williams and all of our teams in the field, for my co-anchor Aaron Miller, I'm Blaine Stewart. Thank you for watching. This is WTKR News 3, and now we send you back to regular programming.